So let's zoom into the Bakhmut city. As you can see, Russia is trying to encircle it. They were very successful on the south, and now they're moving from this direction. Actually, you may say that they already cut this road, because they're so close that they may use even mortars and short-range artillery to cut this road for supplies. And the only way for Ukraine is to deliver goods is using the secondary roads that are in this area. So still we have the front line. The first front line is here before the road. Russia still cannot take Ivanovsk, but it's very risky for our forces to use it for supplies, which is kind of bad for the Bakhmut city. It is not a classified information. You can clearly see it on the map. You can just put 2 points and see that just 2.5 kilometers, it's a very short distance from the Russian positions. Russian strategy is usual. They're just destroying the city building by building, step by step, and you cannot use the destroyed building to hide there, and that is how they go. So firstly they use artillery, after that they go with tanks and armored vehicles and army men. From the Russian side, mostly Wagner group is there. They use their regular presence to deflect the attention of Ukrainian army, so they just throw them straight away and then start the attack from the flanks using their trained soldiers. Those Wagners who fought in Syria and Africa, so they're well trained with military experience. And if we speak about the private military campaigns, those soldiers are the most crazy. It's not a good thing to be encountered with. So yes, it's hard to keep our positions in Bakhmut. With the military help from the Western countries, obviously we can even counterattack in Bakhmut. But for a few months, I would say until April, we're gonna stay in defense. And if we move to the north side of the Bakhmut, here is not a good sign. You see this residential area on the north, so Russians were able to capture this part. It's kind of bad, and in a worst case scenario they may capture this part until the river, which is actually, I think, is happening right now. So you can see the gray area where the fighting is ongoing. But again, for Russians it would be very hard to cross it over here. Still we have many of the residential buildings okay for the cover, and we would stand our ground over there. And it's difficult, my friends. It's difficult in Bakhmut. I just hope that our military command learned the mistakes from the Solidar and will not let Russians to capture any kind of our army men in that place. Let's go to the south over here to Zaporizhia region. Russia tried to attack here near to Oryhev. And I also have the mate over there who is just a civilian, and he left the place a couple of days ago. He said that he heard some of the artillery shells very close to his area, and actually yes, he lives very close actually to the front lines, 8 kilometers away, almost 9, so he decided to leave the area for good. And there's just a small Russian movement over here, and there were some of the videos published in the internet from the Russian side and from Ukrainian side as well. Ukraine posted that we just demolished the Russians on their way to Oryhev. But as you can see, here we have some sort of the gray area. It means that the fighting is ongoing in this place. Russia presented it as the massive attack on Zaporizhia, but no, it's not like that. They use groups up to 50 soldiers to attack some sort of the positions, now with no major advancement. As you can see, Russia takes some small pieces of the ground now, but my friends, it's just a tactical success. Ukraine has strategic goal to drive Russians away from Ukrainian territory, and I believe that it will happen this spring.